All right, so now that you've gotten an overview of the class, let's get to know each other a little bit more. So first I'll talk about how I got here and then share a little bit about how you can share about yourself. So again, my name is Erin Manalo Pedro. I do have my master's in public health, and right now I am the program manager for the Allied Health Academy, which is a program that prepares first-generation low-income students for careers in graduate level allied health. So it was a journey for me to get here, and that's why I love teaching a class like this and doing the job that I have. Because for me it was quite a bit of a struggle, and I'd like to make it a little less challenging for others. So this is my story. This is a photo of me maybe about 20 years ago. This is at the Children's Museum in La Habra. No, that's not what I usually wore as a kid, but yes, those are my glasses. I think this was some kind of dress up situation at the museum. I grew up in the city of Bellflower. Anybody know where that is? Let me know if you know where that is. But it's in the 562 area, kind of close to Long Beach, not quite Orange County, but nearby. And I've been living in Southern California my whole life. So whether it's been in the 562, 818, 310, 909 areas, Southern California is my home. But I also very strongly identify as a Pinay, or a Filipino American. Both of my parents migrated to this country, specifically to the Temple City area in the 1970s in pursuit of a better life. They both grew up in poverty in the provinces of the Philippines, but worked their way towards suburban life. So this is a photo of me with my cousins and my grandparents. My grandparents still have their house in Paramount, and this was several years ago. But my Filipino identity definitely influences who I am and what I strive for. So I wanted to share some of this with you. So my parents were in the medical field. They worked as clinical lab scientists. They tested urine and blood samples, and that was not something that was interesting to me at all. So I was like, I'm going to go the complete opposite direction. I do not want to work in the field of health. So what I did was, for college, I went to Cal Poly Pomona, and I majored in business, focusing on computer information systems. And I really enjoyed it. I was doing well. I worked at a large consulting firm for 5 years, but as I was having that profession, I realized, I can do this, but it's not fulfilling. I feel like I need to be making more of a direct contribution to communities rather than to corporations. And so I was really trying to find something more meaningful. Along the same time frame, I personally was going through some things and trying to find help, and was finding that it was very difficult to get the help that I needed. I actually ended up volunteering as a mentor for Minds Matter out in Los Angeles. And for this first time, I realized, there are programs out there to help youth prepare for adulthood, more specifically to help high school students prepare for college. It was really eye-opening for me. And at the same time, I realized, how come a program like this didn't exist for my community? So along with some of my friends, we co-founded a mentorship program out in the 909 area so that students could high school students could not only be prepared for college, since most of our parents did not go to college in this country, if they went at all, but also to explore the experiences of Filipino Americans, since those narratives are typically missing from mainstream media, mainstream education. And so through this mentorship program, we've really built a community of folks who are more confident in who they are, where they came from, and motivated to build communities, positive communities. By creating the mentorship program, I realized that I wanted to do public health. I recognized that there were health education programs and other youth empowerment programs, but they did not exist for my communities. So I wanted to change that. I went to UCLA, got my master's in public health in the Department of Community Health Sciences, because I really wanted to focus on making health education more culturally relevant, more accessible. And so I focused my 2 years there on getting involved in the community, exploring different media outlets, and really learning more about social justice and what influences different health statuses. In this photo, my parents are on the right. My husband is next to me, and my sister is the one who cannot keep her eyes open ever in any photo. So I was able to get through my graduate training with the support of these folks, but more specifically by having mentors along the way. So as I alluded to earlier, in the part of the reason why I created the mentorship program was I felt like it was hard to find role models, people who looked like me or who were doing things that I wanted to be doing. These three women here really empowered me by showing me that it was possible to work in the community and make a difference and change communities for the better. So the photos are of Marianne Fu, who is the co-founder and executive director of the Orange County Asian and Pacific Islander Community Alliance, or OCAPICA, which is a nonprofit in Garden Grove. The woman in the middle is Dr. Marjorie Kagawa Singer, who is a professor of, or who was a professor of community health science and Asian American studies. She's done a lot of work in the area of culture, cancer, and Asian American and Pacific Islander issues. The last woman is Dr. Sora Park Tanjasiri, whom some of you may recognize if you're a health science major or if you've been part of the Allied Health Academy. She is currently the department chair, and she is also my boss for the Health Careers Opportunity Program. So these women really were examples for me and inspiration for me to pursue what I'm doing now. So that was a little bit about me. You saw how I kind of didn't know what I wanted to do, stumbled around, did some volunteer work, and figured out what it is that I wanted to do and was able to get there with the help of some mentors. Through this class, you hopefully will be able to connect with some of the guest speakers, learn more about what their paths were and how you can get to where you want to. But I would like to get to know each of you. Throughout this course, you'll have opportunities to share your resumes, your goals, and all of that. But today, what I'd like you to do is start by introducing yourself on the forum. We'll get into specifically how to do that in a bit. But additionally, if I have not yet met you in person, please come by KHS 115 to introduce yourself to me. This is in the Kinesiology and Health Science building. If you get lost, you can send me an email, but I'd love to meet you in person.